where we could set our posts, and then pull a line in between those. Then we just drilled the holes for the rest of the posts and made a big old beam going across the whole pool. Once we got our sides up, we pulled a line in between those, and then drilled holes through the rock where we could set posts on the hill, which was pretty difficult. Once those posts were in, we capped them all off with 2x6s going the entire way down the deck. Just two hot bros building deck. Real hot. Then Colby and I grabbed our giant pile of 16-foot boards and cut them in half to make enough joists to go along this whole side of the deck. I am blown away by how cool that pool starting to look. I didn't think above ground pools could look this good, but it's going to be insane. It's actually going to be a luxury pool. All right, so we have one side left. Fans are, but I'm going to show you because this was really sketchy, and I think it's pretty interesting to say the least. At first, everything was the exact same as the other side. We just drilled a bunch of holes and made a beam that went across the whole pool for the joists to rest on. But it all changed when we had to do the other side. You can see this last little bit of overhang on this stuff. It was pretty far down. Luckily, we had the excavator where I could stand on the bucket. This side was so high off the ground, we had to buy 16-foot 4x4s, which did cost a lot. The reason they had to be so long was because of all the fill dirt. When we made a flat spot on the hill, some of the lower areas were built up about 3 feet, and you can't set a post in loose fill dirt because it'll just sink. So we dug down to the real dirt and then drilled a hole. Either. After I set the post in the hole, I pressed it in with the excavator. Every single post we installed either got pounded in with a sledgehammer or pressed with the excavator.
What you doing, baby?
And this one got pressed. The dirt in this hole was so soft, we pushed it down 2 feet. Then I wiped it really good with the sledgehammer. But after all the posts were in and concreted in place, we could start putting up our joists.
There's arriving at the airport, and then there's finding a moment away from it with Platinum. Start your journey in comfort with the largest global lounge network. There's nothing like Platinum.
With got-to-be metallics, new colors, Classic can also stand out. From black to bright shades, all change is bold. Own your colors with got-to-be metallics.
When I see Philly in 2 weeks.
The Nissan Rogue has the stuff to take on all the terrain and the room to take on all the stuff. The 2026 Nissan Rogue. Built for all the havoc chaos you can throw it.
There we go. So you can get any ideas.
Well, this deck looks absolutely unbelievable, better than I ever thought it would, but it's a little shaky. So, tons and tons of bracing everywhere. This board's going everywhere. Angles everywhere. By the time we were done, it didn't move an inch. No take it, dude.
Okay.
No take it. By the way,
No fucking. No fucking either. You just get it. What? What's Timmy can? I'm glad Timmy's not going to do it.
Paper sponsored this video and sent me their Surfer S2. This is a robot that skims the surface of the pool.
Stop doing that, you stupid kid. They can't break, so they can hear breaks. I'm going to make
No matter how hard
you
you
on your
try,
ass.
every single night there would be more leaves and bugs that got into the pool. Surfer S2 literally swims around and collects.
Stop doing that, you silly cat.
150 micron filter, so it even picks up sawdust. Oh, look at it's moving. Oh, it got a leak. It got a leak. It just got purple. Meanwhile, it was finally time to cover the deck. we ended up buying 180 16-foot
Hmm.
decking boards. This was a little less than $2,500.
Baby boy.
Guys, it's been 30 minutes. Look at that pool. That robot's killing it. Not only does the Surfer S2 get everything from leaves, bugs, and even sawdust off the surface, it has a 35-hour
Wish
battery.
Tommy was real.
If that wasn't cool enough, also has a solar panel on the top, so it's pretty much always charging when it's clean. Does it sense the wall with my... And to answer my own question, yes, it does. It has 2 sensors on the front, so it can avoid obstacles and clean way more effectively. The deck we're putting down is looking awesome, but also look at the pool in the background, how clean it's getting. You guys like how we're doing these boards right here? Doesn't it look nice? Yeah, that looks good. Aper also has an app you can use with your robot. Now, it works just fine without the app, but I had absolutely no issues pairing with it. And if I want to, I can even do this and turn it myself to make it pick up something I want to. Within 24 hours, I can't believe how much stuff this robot picked up. Oh my gosh. Look at all that. That's all the stuff that would have been in this pool. That basket, by the way, also has a chlorine dispenser inside it. And this robot won't get stuck on any shallow stairs or walls because it has these pillars that come down to protect it. Make sure you click the link in my description to check Aper out. Use my code, they're offering 5% off both their official website and the Amazon store. If you have a pool and you get one of these robots, you're going to love it. With the deck finally covered in decking boards, I couldn't believe how awesome it looked. Just look at these pictures. It looks like an in-ground pool, and the deck is just massive. Keep in mind, this is what we started with. But even though it looks amazing, it's still not quite a luxury pool. This is all bare bones. Now it's time for the fancy stuff. Yep, I got this awesome music playing again, which means we're about to get some crazy stuff done. This structure we're building now is called a pergola. We think, we're not really sure what exactly it's called, but it's going to house our living room and kitchen. Last poll for the pergola. Pergola.
Yeah, baby.
After we got the beams up, we could then start building the roof. And because it's all pool themed and nice looking, we made every rafter look like this.
What you doing? What are you doing?
So now I'm going to build the handrail. So to do that, I'm going to put holes in the deck.
Can you stop? Maybe a bitch. Thank you.
All I got to do is that, like 30 more times.
The railing going up was a big deal because we were constantly worried about falling off. Also, if you notice the big tall poles in the middle, those are for the lights later on. Once all the poles are mounted, we then put the railing on. All right, go ahead, dude. See the horse. Nice work, dude. Nice work. That looks pretty good. All right, here's the crazy thing, guys. This pool is getting a kitchen. Right over there. It's going to be insane. Oh, and more than a kitchen, we desperately needed a real entrance. So Colby was going to work on that. While Colby's working on the stairs, my job is to install all the electric stuff without causing a fire. After I built the wall for the bar, I was able to install all the boxes for the plugs. While Colby was getting a plan together for a 12-foot staircase. Fun fact, while Colby was building the staircase, We were both really concerned about this pole being right in the middle of it, and we sat around for 10 minutes figuring out what to do, and then we realized we could just move it. Back at the pergola, I was running all
What
the
you doing?
wire to power the outlets and the switches.
What you doing, baby?
And with the stairs and electric finally done, we could put our siding on.
I just hope this sheet fits. If not, I'm quitting. I'm done. Well, what do you know? It actually fit perfectly.
I'm just kidding. It didn't fit at all, and I cut that part out because I was totally bluffing. I can't quit at this point. With the siding sheets around the backside of the pergola, now it was time to use the fence pickets to cover up the rest. We used fence pickets because they look really cool and they're cheap. I thought it would be really neat to have two different types of siding.
Oh, I need a puppet.
Then to prepare the
here.
pergola for the roof. Right. We
Come
have
here.
the next layer of boards.
I had no girlfriends. I had no
Pretty sketchy
paperwork.
job.
My baby boy, I love you.
Then we tied it all down with brackets, and to make matters worse, it was raining. After we tied it up with a bunch of those, then we were ready for the roof.
Done. That's all you get.
This is especially scary because if one of us slipped and dropped the sheet into the pool, it would cut right through the liner, and this whole project would be over. While I was doing this, I was pretty stressed, but now that I'm watching it, it's actually kind of relaxing. Well, guys, I'm soaking wet, freezing, but we did it. Now that this roof is on, we can finish everything underneath it. And unfortunately for Colby, that means making more cabinets.
I have built thousands of cabinets, and there is no end in sight. In the next video, I'm going to be building cabinets in there too. More cabinets.
The thing you gotta know about Colby is he doesn't like building cabinets, but man, he's good at it. And he can do it fast. By the
Stink.
time me and my dad got done painting the railing, Colby was already done with all of them. You're a cabinet freak, man.
Stop ruining heavy instead.
While we were installing the cabinets, our dad painted the front of the pergola as well as the front of the bar. And man, it looked so much better. And earlier I was too busy talking about Colby. Look how good the railing looks.
I'm tired.
It really looks insane. The next day, Colby and I finished it off by running cable through it.
Yeah, we've done a lot of painting. And
I'm W from. Hey, mom, mom. I don't know, but it's cute. Come up, guys. I just wanted to do something.
There was just one big thing we had to get done. We had to stain the entire deck.
looks like tomato soup. Kind of does.
this place with Apartments.com AI. Sorry, we found it. Find your place today.
Cutting through grease just got easy. Palmolive Ultra removes up to 99.9% of grease. Palmolive's most powerful formula instantly cuts grease, leaving you with sparkling clean dishes. Try the new Easy Pump today.
Celebrate America with Toyota RAV4 and take your summer adventures over 600 miles on a tank of gas. Lease a new RAV4 now for $329 a month or get 5.99 APR financing. Toyota, let's go places.
Do you love the dress?
Do you love hair?
I love my smile. Colgate Optic White Pro Series goes beyond the surface to penetrate deep set stains. It's powered by HP Complex, Colgate's unique formulation of hydrogen peroxide. We've dyed 2 eggs blue to represent stains on teeth. The Colgate Optic White Pro Series egg is white, while the egg brushed with non-hydrogen peroxide toothpaste remains blue. And that, my friends, is the science of wow.
Not only does this stain look amazing, but supposedly it's going to protect the deck for up to 6 years from the sun and water.
Okay, kids are in here, so that's good enough. And I'm gonna get some stuff situated so I can go to sleep. Yeah, I'm gonna go to sleep on camera tonight. Try to. So yeah.
The next and last thing to paint was that back wall over there. We didn't want it black because that would be too much black, and we definitely didn't want it white. So we took a risk on this gray green, and it worked out really well. Then it was time to turn our focus towards the cabinets and countertops. Outdoor countertops are great because you have a lot of options. Granite, concrete, tile, it all works. But granite would be $3,000, and concrete would be cheap and easy to make, but it's super heavy. In fact, if we did our countertops in concrete, they would weigh over 3,000 pounds.
Wow.
Which is like parking a small car on the sketchiest part of the deck.
Nice,
So we were able to
stupid.
make wooden frames with plywood that we then coated in cement board.
Cement board. The hell, cement board.
Well, we could then coat that in tile.
I don't understand that. Well, who knows? Yeah,
These countertops actually.
I'll try to get some
really
sleep.
cheap. We already factored in the price of wood because we got it with the cabinet stuff. And with the tile only being $200, we're looking at just over $300 for all of this. And it could be because I'm biased now, but I think these look way better than concrete and granite. Right below the countertops, however, our cabinets needed some love. I know I said we were done painting, but we had to paint these black to match the pergola of the doors. Again, though, I love outdoor kitchens because you can get away with a lot that you can't in a house.
Right now, these are just sheets of plywood. For a couple minutes, they're going to be cut.
Instead of doing anything fancy for our doors, we literally just cut treated plywood, put hinges on it, and painted it. This is how we made those cabinets super cheap. And every single drawer is just fake to further save on cost. And you know what? It actually turned out really. We did all of our trim the same way, just painted leftover plywood. Alright, now it's finally time to install this massive sink I bought on Facebook for only $130. Alright, and that's pretty crazy. We also finally put our refrigerator in. We bought this on Facebook for $250. Then I got this awesome outdoor couch for $400, brand new. It's a couch. Yeah, I was pretty excited because, we had to. We had saw a TV that we picked up for $100 on Facebook. The last thing we had to do was put up the lights, which I've been waiting for the entire time. I gotta say, I had no idea that an above ground pool could be this beautiful. And with it all done, there was only one thing left to do. I'm coming in! Well, guys, we turned an ugly dirt hill that otherwise would have been nothing into a beautiful luxury pool. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you consider subscribing. But either way, we'll see you in the next video. All done.
New Flora Supermolecular Biological powered by Supermolecular Tech, a direct-to-pore delivery system of salicylic acid and niacinamide, absorbs for 24-hour oil control, visibly improves pore concerns. New Flora Supermolecular Biological.
Get up close with exclusive access to unique experiences worldwide.
In this video, we're going to build the first ever triple-decker micro camper. This is definitely one of our most insane builds, and yes, it's street legal. So I want you guys to sit back, crank that hot water up if you're in the shower, blare the volume if you're cleaning, because this is going to be crazy. This idea all started because we built this double-decker micro camper 2 years ago. It was awesome at the time, and we loved it. But somehow, some way, we messed up, and it looks like this now. This is why you shouldn't listen to YouTubers. We have no idea what we're doing. So in its place, we're going to upgrade everything. Starting with this old trailer we got off of Facebook Marketplace. You're good! You're good! And perfect! Okay, so I know it's not the prettiest trailer in the world, but we wanted it for one main reason. It was beefy. Look how thick the metal on the tongue is. This thing is strong, and it's built to hold some weight. All we had to do was just strip this extra stuff off. And about 30 minutes later, we took the trailer from this to this. Full disclosure, I almost fell right there. Again, this really isn't meant to be a tutorial, but the first thing you want to do when you're building a triple-decker micro camper is to put a layer of plastic down. We did 2 layers. It's just a moisture barrier to help keep warm. This doesn't happen. Then we put down a layer of foam for insulating purposes. And one more layer of plastic for good measure. After that, we can bolt down our base plate to the metal on the trailer, put our plywood floor in, which my brother, my dad, and I screwed down a lot. And look, it's a pretty cool looking base. And with the base done, we were finally ready to move on to the walls. For the walls, we're putting liquid nail down to kind of help glue it and seal it off from the outside. We're trying to build this good, at least the best we can. All right, this right up here is going to be really cool. This is going to be the opening for the ladder that goes all the way up to the top floor. Now that the bottom floor is done, it was time to move on to the top two floors. And those needed to be as light as possible. So for the walls, we cut a bunch of 2x4s in half. The goal is to have virtually no weight on the top two floors. That way it will never want to tip over, even though it's going to be freakishly tall. Okay, we're getting really high now, and there's one more story to add. The top floor's got to be a little special because we don't want a box going down the road. Here, take a look at the old camper. See how it looks like a toaster? That's the same look we wanted for this one. And to get that look, me and my dad drew out a curve on a sheet of plywood. Here is the piece we need. Them glued and screwed them together. Beautiful! To get a wall like this. Then me and my brother just built a roof that connected the two walls. And the framing was done. That is the whole frame. Look at it. It's a 13-foot tall toaster. That took 40 minutes. I had to remove the wheel wells because it was finally time to put siding on this thing. At least the bottom. Well, we got one sheet on. For extra strength, every single piece of plywood was glued onto the studs and the base. Then once we got the bottom wrapped, we couldn't go any farther until we got the top two stories wrapped on the inside. You'll see why later. To pin the plywood along the roof without it snapping, me and my dad actually put the sheets in my pool. We waited around for about 20 minutes and, oh yeah, look how bendy it is now. Look at that. Oh, look at that. Oh my gosh, dude. Dude, it's bending. It's bending. All right, Dad, you want to explain to them how we're going to do this? Cardboard. For the sides, we used cardboard to trace the shape, or we could cut it out on plywood, giving us the perfect piece for the wall. Then we went down to the second story and put up the ceiling, and of course the walls. And I know I just showed you all this from the inside, but I had cameras recording on the outside, and it's like super satisfying, so I'm gonna make you watch it again real quick. This isn't awkward, I'm just showing you the video again. Now that the top two floors are covered up, it is finally time for everybody's favorite part. Electric time. This is how I got that shot, by the way. The way we're doing electricity in this camper is kind of weird, but basically we're starting at the top with the lights and working our way down. The can lights on the third story were pretty easy because my dad and I just wired them up on the roof because it wasn't covered up yet. Then after I installed the light switch, we began to work on the plugs. He said this was easy. Dude, this is crazy. Eventually, we worked our way down to the second story, where Colby started to install the can lights. It's been a whole day. We're still doing electric time. This is one of the longest electric times we've ever had. It's still electric time. Some of you know what this is. Others, this is a plug for the camper. It goes into the wall, and it's going to power that box we just put in. All right, my job's done. Now I'm gonna give this to my dad so he can finish it up. Once my dad hooked up all the wires, I plugged in the camper where we could test everything out. Hey, all the lights work! With both the second and third story electric done, our next step was to cover it all in spray foam to kind of lock everything together and insulate it. This is definitely one of my favorite parts because it's so satisfying, and with all three of us doing it, it only took about an hour.
Looks like we had a party, guys. Spray foam party.
I took this really nice shot to show you how the spray foam looks, just ignore my head. Then we glued all the wood where we can finally cover this camper up. So yeah, to sum it all up, that last 5 minutes was just a detour where we could just finish siding the camper. I mean, I warned you at the start, the way we're doing this camper is kind of weird. By the way, you can kind of see what the camper would look like as a box. I told you it'd look bad. So we took the router and cut off the corners, which was super satisfying. Cut out the windows, which I actually pre-cut off camera where I could do this with them. Windows! And then we put on the last bendy pieces, which were wet because we soaked these in the pool too. And this is kind of weird, but totally hilarious. There's a ladybug that landed on this light right here, and it just starts walking around in circles for a while until out of nowhere, a stink bug literally chases it away, does the same thing, while the ladybug lands on another light and does the same thing again. Anyway, sorry, I got distracted. We're done now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you're in for a real treat. Electric Time Part 2. While we were doing the upstairs and the outside, the downstairs didn't get hardly any attention, so we're basically starting fresh. But don't worry, it's going to be really, really cool in here. You see that small room I'm running wires in? That's going to be the bathroom. Yeah, I'm serious. We're really going all out with this camper. Look, you can see this story, the next one, and the next one. All right, the next thing we're going to do is run this water heater. It's on demand, and it's the only thing in here that's 240 volts. We're going to use that pink wire down there. That is not the right wire to use. It probably won't work, and it could start a fire. I've been thinking long and hard what to call this new segment. Plumbing time. Plumbing time. It was kind of crazy to do all this plumbing for a micro camper. The fact that we were making a bathroom was insane. With the plumbing and electric done, it was then time to start on insulation. For those of you who don't know, insulation helps keep it cool in the summer and warm in the wintertime. And we could have used spray foam like we did upstairs, but this stuff is a lot cheaper. And for the downstairs, we weren't really concerned about weight. We actually wanted it to be heavy. That way it lowers the center of gravity and makes the entire camper stable. With the insulation done, we went ahead and put, again, each sheet is glued just for maximum strength here. Once the walls are done, look how good it looked in here. Now we just need some cabinets.
Last time the #1 comment on the video was thank you, Colby, for building the cabinets. And I really appreciated that. So this time, I'm going to enjoy building these.
Once Colby made the fronts of the cabinets, he then started attaching wood, and as you can see, it's starting to look like a real cabinet. For our normal viewers, this is kind of old news. I mean, we do this almost every single video. But we saved so much money by doing this, and even if we could buy these cabinets, this space is so small that we kind of need custom cabinets.
Perfect cabinet.
Very nice. Meanwhile, you're probably wondering how we're going to heat this 3-story camper evenly. We can't use a mini split because there is no room for one of those. A rooftop unit won't work because it's too tall and would never heat all the rooms evenly. So luckily for us, Dreo sponsored this video and sent us 2 of their whole room heater 714s. Dreo is the same company that sent us stuff for the old abandoned shed last summer, which worked fantastic.
That was cool, right? That was worth it.
This heater is pretty insane. It has 2-second instant heat, which basically means as soon as you turn it on, it's hot. With the cabinets installed, this micro camper is really starting to look like something. It's honestly insane we can make such a small space this functional. Our next step was to go upstairs and install the bedside tables for the heaters Dreo sent us. With the bedside tables in place, we could then test out the heaters to make sure they were good for the camper. Dreo also sent us a tower heater for the bottom story, where we could keep the living area warm as well. With the heaters in the bedrooms and the tower heater downstairs, I wanted to see how hot we could get the inside of the camper. So in this time lapse, you can see it's 59 degrees at 20% humidity. You have to turn the top 2 heaters on and the tower heater at the bottom. It only takes a couple minutes to get all the way up to 84 degrees.
It feels so much nicer in this camper right now, and that's not even with real windows on.
You can also set these heaters to the exact temperature you want. So for example, I set it to 77 degrees. Once the room cooled down to 77 and then 75, you can hear the fan click on and start to heat the room up again automatically. Then as you can see in this clip, once the desired temperature is reached, it just stops. This means each room is going to have independent temperature control, which is perfect for camping with multiple people. It also rotates 90 degrees horizontally and 60 vertically, so it's able to circulate the heat throughout the room evenly. It also blows incredibly hard for a heater. Even at the very back of the room, it's moving the toilet paper. Dreo also sent us a very nice humidifier, which is why you saw the humidity level going up with the temperature. Dreo makes really good products, guys. We've been working with them for a while, and right now they're offering 22% off for my audience with the code CHE22. So click the link in the description, guys. Check them out. You're going to love Dreo.
At Sargento, we believe your brakes deserve balanced brakes. Taste over 70 years of family commitment to high-quality cheese and other delicious ingredients in every bite. You have our word on it, you have our name on it. Sargento, a promise you can taste.
This summer, hit the road in a Toyota Grand Highlander.
You can go so many places and have so much fun.
Lease this Grand Highlander hybrid for $489 a month.
Or get 5.99 APR financing.
Toyota, let's go places.
Hey man, take a slow mo. Everyone's got a real self and a camera self. I only shoot the real ones.
By the way, with this camper being almost as tall as a tractor trailer, I know everyone is wondering, including us, how easy is this thing going to tip over? So before we put any more money and time into this camper, we decided to test it to see if it was stable or not.
Okay, wheels off the ground.
We were kind of worried this was going to tip over. That's why we have the excavator right there to catch it. But to our surprise,
No. It's not moving? No. Let's jack it up some more. Let's keep going.
this camper was extremely stable. We actually maxed out the jack, so we had to reset to get it even higher. Just look at that. Did any of you expect it to be that stable?
You still can't tip it?
It's not tipping yet. Apparently this is tilted 20 degrees. That's a steep slope. It did move a little bit when we pushed on it this time, but it wasn't going anywhere. For the next test, we backed it onto a slope that wasn't quite as steep as what we just had. And yeah, apparently this thing's pretty stable, which means we can continue working on it. Speaking of stability, the front of the camper is the bathroom, and we're going to strategically make this very heavy to lower the center of gravity even more and give us more tongue weight. So after I installed the shower valve, like a true pro, I then put the walls up, which, unlike the rest of the camper, were made of concrete instead of wood. This was a pretty easy job. It's not like I needed help from my dad or anything. He was busy painting the cabinets with primer. And Colby was busy building doors for the cabinets. That's honestly why he hasn't been in the video very much. He's just been doing this the whole time. Poor guy. He's so good at cabinets, he can't help it. Then my dad went ahead and sprayed the cabinets green. In our last video, we restored a camper for our friends to live in, and their kitchen turned out so nice we were jealous. So we're making this kitchen look like that one. Then the next day, we started waterproofing the bathroom.
Good enough, eh?
I don't know how we put a shower in here, but it's gonna be sick. Then I went under the camper to install our holding tanks. This tank right here is going to be the black tank, which is what the toilet drains down into. And I know some of you are going to be happy about this. I'm finally using metal to hang the tanks. I just tacked those pieces onto the trailer frame, welded on crossbars underneath, where I could make sure the tank fit. Then back in the bathroom, I drilled the hole for the toilet, which was pretty stressful because I couldn't mess it up. After sliding the tank back in place, I marked exactly where I needed to drill my hole for later and went to install the gauges. As the tank fills up, the water lifts this float and it goes to a gauge, so we'll know when we need to empty it. Installing the gauges isn't too hard, you just gotta be really careful you don't mess up. Otherwise, the camper's going to stink. Once I have that gauge in, I can then weld in the tank permanently.
Can you just turn down my water just a little bit?
Then I just did the same thing for the gray tank, which is what the shower and the sink drain into. Meanwhile, on the inside, my dad painted the entire downstairs. This is the only room that's going to get painted, by the way. The second and third stories were kind of getting neglected now, so I decided it was a good time to install the carpet. 70 1/4 by 117. In case you're wondering, yes, Colby is still working on cabinet doors.
So check it out, guys. They're green now.
Perfect. Meanwhile, downstairs, I was in charge of staining the countertops. For the stain, we chose Golden Pecan. Our next step was the backsplash.
For a backsplash, we always use subway tile, pretty much because it's cheap. Each tile is like 15 cents, but this time we're trying something different. This stuff. It's nearly $1 a piece, so it's a lot more expensive, but it's gonna look awesome on this wall.
Okay, normally my dad does this job, and this is my first attempt at it ever.
Oh, yeah, you can't do this at all. I mean, this is gonna be crazy.
And I'm not going to say it went well.
This is horrible.
And Colby and I might have gotten into a little argument.
No, that's not how he does it. That's just
It doesn't matter how he does it. It's just a way of doing it.
But other than this first layer of mortar that went on horribly slow, in the end, it actually did go pretty well. While I was tiling, Colby also hit the upstairs rooms with some beautiful trim work. This really set them off. Then we went to go install our ACs. On the old double-decker camper, we had an AC unit sticking out of the side, and this was a really cheap way to do it, but I'm pretty sure water leaks into it, and it doesn't look as good as it could. So in this camper, we planned it out to put AC units inside cabinets.
Oh, dude.
This way, in the summer months when we need cooling, we just open the cabinet door and we're good to go. We also put another cabinet up on the second story for this same purpose.
Nice. I think we're in.
This way we have an AC unit upstairs and downstairs. And to get the third story cold, there's a little motorized vent that's going to pull the cold air up. Will this AC setup work? I'm not sure, but I think so.
I love that it's kind of loud. It sounds like a hotel AC.
Then it was time for Colby's favorite part.
Door time.
As he was installing the doors, they were looking amazing, but I felt really bad because he messed up and made the drawer fronts too small, and he was pretty upset about it. So we sanded them down, added some wood to make them bigger, bonded them, sanded them again, primed them, painted them.
All right, 3 hours later, we have the drawers. You feeling better, Colby?
With the drawers fitting perfectly and Colby in a better mood, me and my dad could finally tile the bathroom. And what I mean by that is I'm tiling the bathroom for the first time ever, actually. Again, normally my dad does this job, but I wanted to give him a break for this video. He works like way harder than all of us.
Well, apparently I'm getting worked out of a job. So Che is tiling the bathroom. Colby's spraying the door. I guess I'm gonna go sit in the corner.
Some of you are probably wondering why we're putting tile in a camper like this. Well, again, we want the very front of it to be heavy. That way we have tongue weight, and the heavier the bottom is as a whole, the more stable the entire camper will be. But just look at this tile. I think it's awesome because it's different than the normal shiny stuff we do, and it kind of reminds me of like a luxury hotel of 2009. For the shower floor, we did this awesome white painting tile with brown in it that matched the walls nearly perfectly. For the floor in the bathroom, we decided to go with one big piece of white tile, which totally wasn't hard to put in or anything. There. But now I got two holes that lead to nothing, so I had to harness my inner plumber and pipe it. What you're looking at now is me connecting the shower drain to the kitchen sink drain, all back to the gray tank. That takes care of one hole. Now for the stinky one. To connect the toilet to the black tank, I went ahead and drilled a hole. Then I put a rubber grommet in the hole where I could slide a PVC pipe in it. And then I went ahead and hooked up all of that to a camper drain with two levers, one for the gray tank and one for the black tank. This way, if I pull the gray lever, the gray tank drains. If I pull the black lever, the black tank drains. Easy. And now that all that was done, I can install the sink.
That's a sink!
The cooktop. Connect the drains. That all went back to that gray tank. Our next step was to install the door Colby's been making off camera the last couple days. It's a really nice door, and we made it for like $40. Then after screwing the toilet flange down, we installed the toilet, and I got you guys a nice view.
For experiences like no other, you need a car, like no other, with exclusive access to unique experiences worldwide. There's nothing like platinum. I didn't think shingles would make me miss days of work. I was wrong.
You haven't seen the sun in days. So at this point, it'd be easier to just flood into it. Come on, book it. It's easy. Booking.com. Booking.yeah.
New sulfate-free air care by Swab. No sulfates, no parabens, no mineral oils. Just glossy shine, deep moisture, and vibrant color that lasts. Swab. No, never felt so good.
So obviously the inside's getting done pretty well, and it looks amazing in here so far, but I know a bunch of you are wondering about the outside. Right now, being made of wood, if we took it outside and it rained, it would be ruined instantly. And on the old double-decker, we used poor man's fiberglass to waterproof it, basically glue, a drop cloth, and exterior paint. And I don't know if we did it wrong or neglected it too much, but it's been 2 years and now the inside looks like this, so something went wrong. And we don't want this to happen to our new camper, so we're going to use real fiberglass. For those of you who don't know, fiberglass is basically a resin that goes over top of a fiber and becomes very hard and waterproof. After we mix a very specific amount of hardener in it, we stir it up, and then it goes on kind of like paint. To start off, we gave both sides of the camper 2 coats of resin. It looked pretty nice and glossy afterwards, and theoretically, it was waterproof now. But look what happens to the resin when there's no fibers in it. It's super brittle and weak. So our next step was to cut a bunch of fiber into like 12-foot strips that we could droop along the side of the camper, just like this. It's hard to see, but it's gonna look cool. Then you just take the resin and kind of work it in until it becomes more or less clear. This is a really time-consuming, messy process that nobody likes to do. And it's really expensive. Those bottles are like $60 a piece, and we needed 9 of them to do this project. We also didn't have quite enough fiber, so we pieced together our cutoffs for the last little bit. But when we were done, we had a nice thick layer of fiberglass that was super strong, and most importantly, was never going to leak. Only problem? It was hideous. Look good. Looks like a refrigerator with paint on it. We test painted a little section of the fiberglass, and this is how bad it looked. Obviously, we had to get it smoother, but as it turns out, fiberglass doesn't really sand down. Me and my brother were actually really stressed about this. Even in the spot we spent an hour sanding, it looked horrible. That was until we came home to see my dad looking like this. Wow. Apparently our dad sanded the entire camper. While we were gone, he found a blade for the angle grinder that's meant for concrete and used that to sand down some of the fiberglass. This looks like the most uncomfortable job I've ever seen in my life, so thank you, Dad. I swear this dude's a superhuman sometimes. I'm not even gonna lie to you. With the fiberglass way smoother than it was, we can fill in all those scratches and divots with Bondo. This is kind of similar to fiberglass because you mix it up chemically and then it hardens, but it's easier to sand. While Colby was mixing batch after batch, my dad and I were spreading it on the walls of the camper. And after it went on, it's pretty rough looking. The difference is you can sand this. We worked on these walls for 14 hours straight to get them to look this smooth. While we were sanding, I also grabbed the door off of the old camper where we could reuse it. It just needed some work. Meanwhile, the camper is smooth and we're ready for paint. Well, primer. We started out with a gray primer. Ted, how long do you think we spent sanding in this video?
We don't go by hours anymore, we go by weeks. So weeks of sand.
With the camera primer, it was time to paint the finish coat. I mean, you guys are people. You saw the thumbnail, know what color we're painting it, but I can still pretend like you don't know. Life is more fun with surprises. We decided to paint it white, but don't worry, we're not going to leave a blank canvas. The next day, we sanded down the paint where we could get it a little smoother, and then we taped on our design that you've never seen before. We wanted to pay tribute to our old camper that we kind of ruined, and I feel bad. That's why we went with this design. After covering up the parts we wanted to leave white, we went ahead and opened the red paint. Just kidding, just kidding. It was blue. The bathroom. We installed the floor. And we kind of need a way to get up to the third story without this ladder. So, earlier in the video, I bought some steel tubing and welded it all together to make an 11-foot ladder to go all the way to the top. I still have no idea how this fit, but somehow we managed to do it. Whoa! Then I fastened it in with lags. I love how it goes all the way up to the top. Installed the cover plates. And back on the outside, the paint was done. Hang on. Can you believe the finish we got on this paint? These edges were. You saw, right? It almost looks like a car. Oh, and we installed our windows. By the way, if you're extra observant, you probably noticed that we didn't waterproof the roof or the front and back walls. This would be way too much fiberglass. In our last video, we learned that you can go buy a vinyl roof and glue. So that's exactly what we did.
Oh, this has got to be 100 pounds.
It was not easy spreading this roof out. We had to lay it on like a blanket, perfectly square, where all the lines were straight.
No way!
Then we folded it back on top of itself where we could start gluing it. You have to glue the wood, then the vinyl, then let them dry. After they're dry, you can press them together. Then you have to repeat the process in like 4-foot sections. Just look at the clock while we're doing this. It took all day to get this roof on. The front was extremely difficult because we didn't want any wrinkles showing, so we had to make sure we pulled it very tight. Several hours later, we did get this side pretty good, but not as good as the back. And by the way, look at the clock now. By this time, we kind of perfected our technique where we could get it on with no wrinkles showing at all. We were pretty happy. Now we're going to take a dramatic turn because we're getting the final touches on this camper, and it's sick. Trimming the edges out with aluminum really made them pop. And you guys remember that door off our old camper? Well, now it looks like this. Then I replaced those old wheels. That looks better. And aside from a quick wash, this thing was ready to be tested out. We are officially on our way to the campsite. The first place we're going to stop though is the weigh station because we really need to know how much this weighs. Hopefully we did a good job. I know a lot of you are curious to see how this drives because we were too. And honestly, it wasn't that bad. We definitely needed to find out how much it weighed though, because if it was too heavy, it's going to keep us from being able to drive this far.
We're hoping it's under 4,000 pounds, but I don't know. It's definitely above 4,000 pounds. Dad, how much do you think this camper weighs? A lot. Like a lot.
Eventually we made it on the scale and we finally figured out how much this thing weighed. I had a good reaction clip of us reading the weight and we were all excited, but I forgot to press record, now it's gone forever. The weight of the camper is only 3,700 pounds. That's amazing.
All right, we're going on the interstate now. Never been on the interstate before. Here goes nothing.
You can see it in the back there. We were all kind of staring at it because we were nervous, but at 60 miles per hour, it was stable. That's why we built the bathroom heavy and we had tongue weight.
All right, well, we made it off the interstate. We're probably never going to go faster than 65.
How ridiculously awesome this thing looks in traffic. It towers over the other cars. We tried to stop for drinks, but we were a little too tall. By the time we made it to our campsite, we were really comfortable towing this, and man, it looked awesome. And now I'm going to bring the dramatic music back because this is sick. Welcome to the inside of the camper. It's pretty insane in here, and now that we're actually camping, I think this is the best build we've ever done, ever. First off, we got the stove top. We got 2 burners, tons of cabin space up here. We got a sink. We managed to fit a full shower in this camper. And we got this cool little curtain rod now, so water won't get everywhere. Not only do we have a toilet, but it's a normal toilet, not the camper toilet. And I want to give another shout out to Dreo because it feels amazing in here right now. These heaters have no problem keeping it warm in here. That's pretty much downstairs. Now we can go upstairs. So we got TVs to every single one of our builds, but I don't think we've ever added one this functional. This TV right here in the wall, you can pull out, aim that way, aim this way. This is also a full-size bed, so you can very comfortably sleep 2 people in this bed. And we put bedside drawers in this bedroom. Now, we're at the 3rd story. This is where my dad's been hiding. So I can't decide if I like this or the 2nd story better. We have the same TV setup. It can move anywhere you want it, but it's a little smaller and it's not as good of a TV. Again, it's another full-size bed. You can easily fit 5, 10 people up here. Obviously, you've seen this throughout the video, but we have another drawer up here and our Dreo space heater that is keeping it very warm in here. Not to mention, it's going to be great in the summertime because it has a fan mode you can use. Well, guys, we decided to end our night with some chips, burgers, and good times. Thank you so much for watching this video, and definitely consider subscribing because we're just going to keep posting. We're going to keep posting. We're going to keep on posting until you subscribe, and then we're going to post some more. All done.
It's back, it's so back.
What is WOW? It's innovation in chemistry helps unlock what's always been there, the power of your smile. Colgate Optic White Pro Series delivers 5 times whiter teeth after 1 day. That's routine made remarkable. Colgate Optic White, the science of WOW.
Three weeks ago, I posted a video where we turned a 40-foot school bus into my and my girlfriend's personal tiny home. And you guys blew it up. I still can't believe that it hit 10 million views in under 3 weeks. And ironically, the video wasn't really about the bus. So at the end when we finished it, I didn't get a good chance to show you everything we did. Because believe me, there is so much to explain and show you. In this video, I'm going to show you a detailed tour of this bus, along with all kinds of stuff we didn't include in the main video. I'm going to be answering questions, taking you for a drive, and basically just showing you what it's like to live in this thing. The first thing is this bus is massive. So we raised the roof 40 inches, which gives us a total height of 13'6". That's the legal limit. Any higher than that, we have to get an oversized permit to drive. Lifting a bus roof is a really big task. Go around and cut everything open like a can opener, and then take this, 1,000 to 2,000 pound hunk of metal and hope it doesn't fall on you. And obviously, the roof raise, at least in my case, was extremely important because without the high ceilings, this bus could never be a functional home for me and Kelsey. What's funny though is we have no idea how to do this, and when we were raising the roof, tensions were very high.
Okay, it's free and clear. Very slow, very careful, please. Please. I'm being as careful as I can here. Really, there's gonna be some shaking. I know you can really shake.
You see, in the main video, I made this look fun and easy, but in reality, it was extremely hard and stressful.
You hung up anywhere? No. It's up like 2 inches. Okay.
Make me nervous.
Well, I mean, it's up in the air now. It's like, it's real.
We thought about renting a crane. We thought about building giant wooden hoists around the whole bus. We thought about all kinds of stuff until one day my dad's like, hey,
we're gonna make 4 of these things. It's like a kind of a wall, and there's 2 parts to the wall. The outside stays where it's at, and the inside is gonna raise up. Put 4 of them throughout the length of the bus, so we can safely lift the whole bus up.
Basically, my dad designed 4 sets of jacks made of wood with an inside frame and an outside frame. The inside frame was pushed up by a jack at the bottom and was meant to glide against the outside frame. The first couple inches of raising the roof were especially stressful because the jacks were getting jammed.
Stop, guys.
You can see right here that the driver's side is jacking up a little bit higher than the passenger side.
Okay, stop.
Well, this was easily fixed by prying the other side down. This took literally 2 days. It was a 2-day process. This is one of the hardest parts of the build. Day 2. You see how high the roof is raised right now? That's less than halfway. The higher we go, the sketchier everything gets. So now that it's getting really, really high, the jacks are in danger of being weak like this. So what we're gonna do is put some more cross braces on the top, going this way. Another sketchy thing about raising it that high, we couldn't find a video out there where someone did that. The highest we could find was 2 feet, and we did double that. We were worried about being top heavy, the wind blowing on it, or even, not strong enough. All kinds of things we were worried about. But after we put all the metal tubing on the hat channels and welded it all together, put the sheets on, it was incredibly strong. And we got up on the bus and shook it, and there was no issues there. Another problem with this roof raise is we wanted to put a deck up here where I could do the proposal. Today is one of the most important days of the entire build. We are starting on the roof deck. Now, the problem with the deck on a bus that you've already raised to the legal height limit, you don't have that much room to play around. Go ahead, snap it. Dude, that looks perfectly straight. So we designed a deck to where the wood part only comes up this much from the metal. So those angles we just cut on the boards are going to allow them to sit like this. You can see it sitting on the curve perfectly straight up. It looks really cool, dude. This is never fun, but we're gonna drill a hole through the roof. Dude, here's our hole, and now he's gonna sit a bolt through it. Go ahead, buddy. Straight up like that. There we go. I know. All right, got all these brackets in place, and now we're ready for the 2x6 outside band. Oh, nice. So we've been working all day, and we got this awesome framing done. All those boards down there, those are going to be up here as our decking boards. And now that I showed you how we designed the deck, it's much easier for you to see how little this deck adds to the total height of the bus. And then obviously you have to have railings. I'm doing a proposal, she can faint, fall off, I don't know. So we designed these railings that literally hold up to 36 inches high. So to set these railings up, it's really easy. Watch this. Once the railings are up, they can obviously just come back down and wiggle. So we have this awesome little storage compartment right here where we store these crossbars that just screw right in. So once this crossbar's up, it's still wiggly. So you're probably like, well, how do you make it strong? Check this out. All you got to do is take this and hand tighten it into this one. Now you got this nice looking X from the cables, and it's super strong. Like, look, it's super freaking strong. I can literally lean on this. Now I'm going to show you more of this when we get to the campsite, but for now, you'll notice that there's holes inside the storage compartment. That's for the string lights that can go up on this deck. And once the string lights are up, the total height of the bus is like 25 feet. It's just ridiculous. And then right here, I think this is really cool. I have a GFCI outlet, so we can plug in our phones. I don't know, a TV if we want to, but mainly right now I use this for the string lights that I put up here. And you can turn that outlet on and off from right here. Without a doubt, the most overwhelmingly asked question is how much does this weigh and if it's safe to drive? The short answer is when we got this bus, it weighed 19,100 pounds. That's with seats and us inside of it. And every vehicle, whether it's car, truck, or bus, has what's called a gross vehicle weight rating. The gross vehicle weight rating is basically the most a vehicle can weigh safely. And the gross vehicle weight rating of this bus is 36,500 pounds. So when we first weighed it, we thought, well, we have almost 16,000 pounds to play with. So we got half-inch drywall. What we got here is about 3,000 pounds of drywall, lumber. This beam right here probably weighs like 80 pounds. 2 layers of 3/4 inch of Vantech for subflooring. So we're going to create more support by putting another layer of subfloor glued and screwed to the existing layer of subfloor. But we ended up adding about 10,000 pounds. And right now, without water in it, it weighs 29,900 pounds, which is way below the gross vehicle weight rating. But even with it being only 29,000 pounds, we still could have made it a lot lighter. When you do this for the first couple times, you're going to make mistakes. And we could have made it look exactly the same, but saved 4,000 pounds if we just were a little smarter about the materials we used. That would have improved our MPG, it would have improved the top speed, acceleration, and all kinds of stuff. And then wear on the brakes, wear on the tires. It just, the lighter you make these things, the better. And now we know that. And if you're still worried about the weight, think about it this way. This bus is an 84 passenger bus, so it's made and built to hold and drive 84 passengers. Now, since it's a school bus, I'll assume that they're middle school students, and the average weight of them and their stuff is 150 pounds. If you have 84 150-pound students, that's 12,600 pounds of weight, which is 2,000 more pounds than we added to this. Now I'm going to show you under the bus. One thing that we got a lot of pushback for is using wood to hold up our tanks. Now, these things are heavy. When one tank is filled with water, it's over 800 pounds, and there's 4 tanks.
Dude, this is massive tanks.
I know. I'm not going to go out and say that you guys should use wood underneath your buses when you build them, but this is fine. These tanks aren't falling out. They're not going anywhere. This wood's all treated. It's not going to rot away. I left it unpainted, too, because I do monthly inspections down here, which is something you should always do. And I'll be able to see if anything is going bad or sagging or breaking. Everything is held up by giant 2x12s bolted in with half-inch stainless steel lags. They're not going anywhere. This is one of our 2 AC units. Some of you guys were concerned with the placement of these units. I've seen schoolie conversions where they put them on the outside, like on the roof. If you do it right, it can look good, but I think the best place is just underneath the bus, out of the way, nobody can see them. It's just great. And some of you guys were concerned about it getting dirty down here. It's going to take a very, very long time for them to get dirty. And then when they do get dirty, you just get AC cleaner. It's no big deal. But, you know, everything underneath this bus has been like this for about a year now. And there's been 0 issues over here. Another concern some of you guys had about the ACs being down here is it's sucking up the nasty air down here or fumes and putting it into the bus. And that's just a common misconception with ACs. All you need to know is the air outside the bus stays outside and the air inside stays inside. There's a great video by Technology Connections. He's one of my favorite YouTubers. He has a great video on how these things work, so watch that if you're interested. Another thing I want to point out is look how much space I have in between the AC and the wall. Plenty of space. Next, we're going to talk about the engine. This is the monster engine that pushes this bus. It's a Caterpillar C7 It weighs 1,200 pounds, which is just 300 less than a smart car. A bunch of you are asking if it can handle the weight that's in this bus. And again, since we're so significantly under the gross weight, it has absolutely no problem pushing us around. On a flat road, this engine will get the bus up to 70 miles per hour. Up a hill, it'll maintain 60 to 65, and down a hill, it'll go 80. Some of you guys talked about like upgrading the brakes or the brakes not being able to stop the bus because of all the weight. And these brakes are a little different than what's on your car. They're air brakes, and air brakes are insane. They're crazy, crazy powerful. And braking altogether is just different with big, heavy vehicles because these big old brakes, they just lock up the wheels. So the more weight that's on the wheels, the faster it can actually slow down. Now, that doesn't mean you won't damage the brakes. With any heavy vehicle, the more you use these brakes, the more you can heat things up, warp your drums, and crack your shoes. We don't want any happenings. And all that stuff really comes down to me just being a responsible operator, making sure I'm really far away from cars. And if I'm going down a hill, I actually don't really use the brakes. I just press the buttons on my transmission to downshift to a lower gear to have the engine help slow me down. As long as we're under that gross vehicle weight rating, everything suspension-wise, everything brake-wise, it'll all be okay. But now it's time to get out from under here. We're going to fire this bad boy up, and we're going to go camping.
There's eating the views, and then there's experiencing the meal with Platinum. Get access to dining benefits at over 10,000 U.S. resi restaurants. So go ahead and order the chef special. There's nothing like Platinum.
Fall of 1981 was the season of horror and murder that would destroy us all.
Sounds terrifying. FX's The Shards premieres August 5th on FX and Hulu.
Ugh, why does the camera pick up yellow on my teeth? With just one kit of Crest 3D white strips, I can bring on my whitest smile yet. I'm so close up ready. Bring on whiter teeth that last 12 months.
Makes an eerie metal roof too. It's what it's built to outlast. Like winds up to 120 miles an hour. Our metal roofs are built to withstand gale force winds. Plus, it's backed by a 50-year transferable warranty. Get a free consultation today with Erie.
So there's obviously going to be drawbacks when living in a bus. And one of those drawbacks is diesel. It's very expensive to fill this bus up. I usually put in about 80 gallons at a time, and because this thing gets 7 miles per gallon, every single mile I drive costs me 53 cents. And that's where Upside comes in. This app makes it a whole lot easier for me to be able to afford diesel in the bus and gas in my car. All I have to do is open the app, and it automatically searches my area for local deals where I can get cash back on gas, diesel, groceries, and even restaurants. And look, I can get 10 cents cash back for every gallon of gas I buy at this Sphinx that's only 3 miles away. Here we go, off to the gas station. Never get used to moving your house. It's kind of crazy. The fact that my entire house is moving with me. It might be hard to see in the camera, but this hill is super, super steep. And even with the bus weighing 29,000 pounds, it is extremely easy to stop. It doesn't feel like I'm pushing it at all. And I ride down this hill, at least once a month. I also want to add that I've had this app since 2019. Oh, actually, 2018. And it's helped me save so much money throughout the years. Upside allows you to earn up to 25 cents per gallon of gas. And not just that, but you can also earn up to $10 restaurant meals. People who use Upside earn almost 3 times more than other reward programs. And by the way, if you guys use my QR code or the link in the description to download Upside, you'll earn an extra 25 cents off per gallon your first gas purchase. And I use it all the time with this bus, which is why I'm super excited they decided to sponsor us. Since we're stopped, I'll show you. The Sphinx that we're going to, we have 10 cents cash back for every gallon of diesel that I buy. This app doesn't cost anything to use.
Dude, you barely fit height-wise.
But I fit. The actual process of using Upside is super easy. After you add your card in the app, you just pump gas like normal, and it tracks your savings for you and builds them until you're ready to cash out.
It's so weird to be at Chase House when we're at a gas station.
This particular pump would only let me get 30 gallons at a time, but I was still able to save over $7. It doesn't seem like a lot when I'm just talking about it, but look, this is how much money I got back just from using Upside this one time. And imagine how much this will add up every month when I'm doing this to my car, restaurants, and the bus. So click the link in the description or use the QR code to download the app and start getting cash back today.
I've already saved $36 using Get Upside.
Seriously, look at that. That's Colby's own personal account. This thing makes you money. It's insane. Right now we're taking the like we usually take all of our stuff for the videos. So I'm going to take you guys through the actual bus real quick to just show you what it's like in here while it's moving. So what's crazy, I'm in the bathroom right now. Even though we're moving down the road, we still have power and even working water. Isn't that sick? Literally, we're moving, watch. Weird feeling. All right, guys, we made it to the campsite. I just got to park this thing. I just want you to listen to how quiet this is, even on a gravel road. Listen. It's just, it's amazing. And look, I got all my cameras working. You can see everywhere, even on the roof. I am parked. We're ready to shut this bus off and get to the inside tour, baby. Again, in the main video, you guys really didn't get to see all that much. My goal was to stay focused on the story, which was me proposing to Kelsey. And I think it worked out great in that video, but there is just so much to this bus that you guys haven't seen. All right, guys, it's the inside of the bus, and it's actually changed quite a bit since the video. The first thing I want to address is the drywall. We used 1/2-inch drywall, but we could have used 1/4-inch drywall. That would have reduced the weight of the bus by, what, 1,500 pounds? And a lot of you guys are also concerned with the drywall breaking up or cracking or falling down. And you know, we were too, but at the same time, I want this to be a house. I don't want it to be a camper. And I want it to look and feel like a real house. So I decided to risk it and do drywall, and it's been great. Every single piece is glued on and screwed on. Wait, we got to glue it.
You gotta glue it.
I forgot to do. I hate freaking glue and drywall. My personal thought to is you should do one thick bead. Otherwise, you're gonna run through too much liquid metal.
Well, you know what? For the ceiling,
I want to do this. All right, 36. I'm sorry, I'm ceiling.
I don't know the exact number, but I'm pretty sure we used at least 45 tubes of liquid nail to glue all the drywall in the bus. We hadn't had any seams bust. We hadn't had any cracks or anything fall off. It's actually been really strong and stable. And so far, I've driven this bus just right around 10,000 miles with it looking like this. There's been 0 drywall issues. The next thing you guys all have concerns with is the tile. I said in the main video that this tile, this 4 by 2 foot tile, has no business being in this bus, but we did it anyway because I mean it just looks beautiful. Kelsey, are you excited about your expensive tile?
Who am I?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we spent about $2,500 just on tile. It was totally worth it. I mean, it just turned out great. But again, this is one of those areas we could have saved a lot on weight. All this was squatting my trunk like a lot. Parents act like children. This particular tile, because it's so long, the bus bounces and twists and stuff, and over time, you know, this grout line is coming loose a little bit, and a couple tiles here and there, you step on in one of the areas, and you can feel it's a little loose. I think it's all because of the mortar we used. And we put it directly over at Vantech, which I learned isn't the best thing to do. So it could have been a lot better. Oh, there's my cat. It was still worth it because it's beautiful. Again, 10,000 miles, and we haven't had any issues with it. If the tile ever does need to come up, we'll find something else to glue it down with. Above me is the loft. This is one of my favorite parts of the bus because it allows me to have guests in a really comfortable place for them to sleep. So fun fact about the loft, in the main video, we actually didn't have these railings up and we didn't have a mattress up here. We couldn't really get that done in time, so we just filmed it as it was. But now it's a fully functional bedroom, essentially, and 2 people can easily fit up there. To get up, all you gotta do is pull this ladder off the magnet mounts that I made, slide it over, we bring it down, and it just locks together with pins. So once you climb up the ladder, you just use these railings, and it's super easy to get up here. The guests have a TV, they got a pillow, and a little light switch so you can turn off these lights up here. a plug over there. But the really great part about this loft are these beautiful windows right here that you can look out of while you're sleeping. And they open, so you can listen to nature sounds while you're going to bed right there. It's perfect. Then the last part of the loft, which most people don't notice until I point it out, that I think is really cool, is the privacy shade. And these railings in the loft are extremely strong. They're bolted down to the frame, and they're made with the exact same metal and cables that the deck railings are made of. And this is the living room. Now, originally in the video, we had another matching couch here, but I took it out because we needed a spot for my girlfriend's cat. I turned this space into a really comfortable bench that you can even lay down on. And inside the bench is a fully functional cat room with a litter box, ventilation system, everything he needs, and his own privacy because he likes being by himself a lot. He's a cat, so that's what cats like. Then we have this nice 55-inch TV. So we mounted this TV, and it's great. It looks good, but when you compare it to everything else, it's just kind of boring. So I'm building an entertainment center to kind of go around the hammer feet. And all these decorations up here are actually glued down, except this one. One thing that Kobe and I are really proud of, and it didn't make the cut in the video, is Ethernet. This bus is crazy. Since Kelsey loves playing Xbox and the Wi-Fi is going to be in the attic, we are actually running an Ethernet cable all the way to the Xbox from where the Wi-Fi unit is going to be. We're doing this. We literally ran Ethernet cables underneath the TV to plug into Kelsey's Xbox where she can play her games and connect to her computer without Wi-Fi. Yeah, Ethernet. There we go. And we'll get into the Wi-Fi situation in a minute. It's actually really cool what we did. Now we're going to look forward. Boom. We're in the kitchen. So obviously when you go and ask your significant other if they want to live in a bus, there are some requirements you have to meet. One of those requirements for me, and I totally agree with Kelsey, was full-size appliances. This refrigerator is full-size. I don't know if you noticed, but it has a screen on it, which I love because you can leave little notes, make lists. You can actually see inside the fridge through the screen, which I think is kind of dumb but cool at the same time. Ice, water. So right above the fridge is the microwave. Colby and I were actually building the kitchen. We started making the cabinets. When I ran outside, I was like, Colby, you forgot the microwave. Right, you heard that?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, and we had to reconfigure the whole cabinets. Like the shot that I showed in the main video of our cabinet design, I'll zoom in. There's not a dishwasher and there's not a microwave cutout. And so we're like, oh, where can we put this microwave? And the only place was above the fridge. I love it. And it's one of those wider microwaves that matches the refrigerator. It's just perfect. Above the microwave is probably one of my most useful cabinets up there. This cabinet up here is, that happens sometimes. This cabinet up here is where I put all my pots and pans, and I have a rice cooker up here, crock pot, I got mints in the back. It's huge. And again, I just leave all this stuff up here when I'm driving down the road. It's totally fine. And speaking of the cabinets, all these were obviously custom made. We couldn't go out and buy these because it's a bus. But you're probably wondering like how they stayed shut. We put these little tabs on here, so when you shut it, it stays shut. And this has been incredibly useful. Something that didn't get a lot of attention during the video is this sink. It's like 4 settings. First, you turn a knob, which is just like, it's just fancy. It can go like this, it can go like this, and it can go like this. Then if you twist it the other direction, a little waterfall comes down. And this is for washing vegetables and other stuff, which is great for me because I do a lot of cooking. These 2 cabinets are probably the most important cabinets in the kitchen. Why? Well, in this one, this is where Kelsey and I keep our dirty laundry. And this one is our garbage can. It just slides out. And this drawer is for silverware. Oh, and they're all soft closed. It's awesome. Something that didn't get a lot of attention during the video was the bar. And I think this is extremely important for making this a functional kitchen. This is a great amount of couch space over here, but it's not enough. And obviously there's no place to eat. I could see 4 people, 5 if we all squeeze together on this bar and we can all eat our meals. We have so much room in this kitchen, we decided to add another computer for Kelsey. So this bus has 2 computers in it. Beneath the bar are cabinets. Again, this is just us maximizing storage as much as possible. This is where we keep our clothes like pants and shorts. That's mine, that's Kelsey's. This one's for shoes. This one is for the Xbox and all our games, and it actually wires up to the TV through the wall, and it wires up to Ethernet. Something else that didn't get a lot of attention during the video is this thing. Now, this is called a pop filler, and it's like a really trendy thing right now in houses. So now you can just fill it with this, not have to move it at all. It's actually pretty awesome, and I use it more than I thought I would. And it wouldn't be in here if it wasn't for my dad. He talked me into this. At first I was like, no, that's stupid. But after putting it in, this thing is awesome. And then we have a full-size 240 volt cooktop that will boil water in like 3 minutes. It's super, super powerful. And then right above, we have Colby's custom hood vent. This thing took solid wood and made it flexible like this. Look, it's made of wood, not plastic. It's made of wood. This thing is so powerful. While I'm cooking bacon, there's no smoke in here. Oh, something else I want to show you. Look, we have these fancy light bulbs right here. I love this light fixture. It's so cool. It's great to have on at night because it makes everything feel warm and cozy. Oh, and the sink has a disposal. We ended up making so much storage that these cabinets up here are barely used for anything. Like this whole section has a couple rolls of paper towels in it. There is so much room to put stuff. So when we have like 6 people staying in this bus, we put all of the extra food up there. There's just plenty of room for everything. The countertops are really special on this bus. Unfortunately, they were $7,000, but it was worth it. All right, guys, today's the day where we get our countertops in. These countertops are everything I wanted. They're the best all around. They're actually porcelain. So this, what you see here, isn't real rock. Porcelain is super scratch resistant. It doesn't stain. It's glossy, so it matches the glossy floor. Absolutely worth it. One of the problems we had with our last bus was it didn't really have any windows. These windows open. Look at that.
All right, so finally, one of the more exciting parts of the video, we're going to put windows in.
We can let in fresh air and just enjoy the sounds coming from outside. It's truly amazing to have these giant windows on a bus. It makes the kitchen seem a lot bigger than it actually is. And then if we want to close the windows for privacy, all we gotta do is pull this little chain right here. And these blinds make it super thermally efficient and give us complete privacy. One of the jokes we had when we were building this bus was, hey, let's put a ceiling fan inside of it. And after we built it, we realized the ceilings were tall enough that we could actually fit one in here. And I'm really glad we did. If I'm going off grid and I don't want to run ACs to save battery power, this fan only uses like 100 watts and keeps it really nice and cool. This door is one of my favorite parts about this bus. I know I say that a lot. There's a lot of favorite parts. It's kind of like the ceiling fan where it really shouldn't be in here. Your old apartment didn't have it.
Yeah, no.
This is my pantry. So you open it up. Oh, and also there's a full length mirror for Kelsey to make sure she likes her outfits and everything. You can see I got all my food in here. It's kind of disorganized right now, but there's plenty of shelf space. And what else is cool, here I'll turn these lights off so you can tell. What else is cool is I spent like an extra hour wiring up a pantry light. This is probably not even close to necessary, but I want to light my pantry, so I'm going to wire it up. And now, I have a pantry light. It's completely useless, but I think it's so cool to have a pantry light in a tiny little pantry like this. For the next part of the tour, I'm showing you the bathroom. Now, I think this bathroom looks so good. I'm going to go ahead and play some classical music over this to where it just seems that much more luxurious. This bathroom looks like it belongs in $1 million house. A very small $1 million house, but yes, it's so shiny. What? The toilet opens automatically? This room didn't get a lot of attention at the reveal either. There just wasn't enough time to show you everything. This bathroom is so functional. It's actually amazing. The first thing is, if you notice, the ceilings are only 7 feet tall. Above me is an attic space that I'm going to show you guys later. But check out this little sink right here. I love this faucet because it makes the water come out all flat, and then there's plenty of room on the countertop for soap and like toothpaste or whatever. The real challenge in here was getting Kelsey's makeup and all of her hair stuff to fit. That stuff takes up a lot of space. So out of these two cabinets and all these cabinets, these two are mine. That's it. The rest are Kelsey's. She's got her hair stuff in here, makeup stuff, and then down here we have like these awesome little shelves that sort everything, and then a mini trash can on this door. Then there's a little remote for the toilet. It's a bidet smart toilet, so it'll wash. So something that wasn't even shown in the video was this shower door. We have a glass shower door.
Okay, so now I'm gonna install the shower door.
I want to point out how unhappy Colby is in this clip. He just simply did not want to do this.
If you get it wrong, it's gonna suck forever. I better make sure I get this perfect.
But obviously he ended up doing a great job. Thanks, man. And I know if it was shown in the video, everybody would be like, why on earth would you put a glass shower door here? But it's fine, it's doing great. And you just open it up, and walk right in. Look how big the shower is. So I got my shower head right here, there's a second one over here, and then we have these sprayers and dual control. So if I want my shower head to be 120 degrees, like really hot, I can make it, while this shower head over here can be 100 degrees cold. There's actually going to be two showers. There's going to be one here and one here. So it's going to be like dual showers. And each one has their own individual controls. So I can make this one cold or this one hot or just both. And they're going to be raining from the ceiling. When you turn it on,
Back the badge. Conservative Luke Lurie's plan. He's worked as a corrections officer at the Sheriff's Department. Luke's plan opposes woke right policies to defund our police. Contact your legislator. Tell them you support Luke Lurie's plan.
Right, Chris is here. Hair's not ready. I need to Tresemme A-list collection now.
Tresemme, get your hair on the A-list. The Devil Wears Prada 2, now in theaters.
look, it tells you the temperature of the water. Right now it's 84 degrees and climbing, 86. So yeah, you're able to see what temperature water you have before you even touch it. Then we have these awesome built-in shelves for the soap and whatever else. They have little LEDs in here. I love them so much. It was actually a huge pain to put them in. What we did, it's totally worth it because in the morning time, I like it dark like this when I'm taking my shower, just waking up. It's almost like a reincarnation of the ice bathroom in a way. Instead of being cold, it's just warmed up. As I said in the main video, I told Kelsey we have a full-size washer dryer unit. And again, I wanted it too. I didn't want to go to a laundromat or deal with a really small one. And I also heard about the washer dryer combos. They had some issues with not drying the clothes all the way and causing mold and stuff. So this dryer combo unit is just great. Obviously, it was really hard to get in here. And behind the scenes, we actually had to remove it twice. All right, I got it jacked up.
Refrigerator is easier than this.
Oh yeah, it should be. This is very hard. In the master bedroom, we actually have an access panel in one of the closets. So we can actually get behind here, plug it in, do all the water stuff, and have access to fix it. But to take it out, you actually have to pry this molding off. As you can see, it's blocking the way for it to come forward. I'm hoping we never have to take it out.
Again,
yeah. So this opening right here was something that was really difficult for us to figure out. And I kind of took that project on. What I ended up coming up with was a sliding door that slides all the way closed like this. It's great for blocking out sound and making the office a bit more private, but it also looks awesome. Oh, and look, I don't know if you see this, but all of our doors, we put glass panels inside of them. It makes it so much more luxurious. Yeah, I never specified this in the actual video, but we made every single one of our doors, put the glass in there, and put the film on to make it look frosted. This is another place we could have saved some weight. These doors are solid wood, and the glass inside there is a 1/4 inch thick. but at the same time, that makes the glass a lot stronger, and I really like the feel of heavy doors. And this is the office, guys. This is where I edit all my videos. I do all my work on here. I got 2 computer screens. I got a printer, a keyboard because I like music. Oh, and a separate AC unit over here. The space in this room is so small that my computer back here, while I'm editing, actually heats this entire room up, which is pretty much the reason I installed an AC unit here to begin with. And then this is a separate AC unit in case my computer and everything heated up too much in here. This vent right here goes directly into the master bedroom. It blows all this nice cool air into there. So the master bedroom has AC, just like we did in our double-decker micro camper video. Now I got a little air purifier right here. We take air quality very seriously in the bus. It's very easy to have bad air quality here. So we have air purifiers, we run filters, all kinds of stuff that we had to think about, and we're still figuring it out. In the office, we close one door, 2 more appear. We got the electric door, all our breakers and everything in. Right here's our breaker box. It's where all the electric runs back to. It's the same thing you see in a house. Like, seriously, this is a house. It's a great spot for it because you can't see it really, and it's completely accessible. And then we got the attic door. I'm gonna say again, this is my favorite part of the bus.
Every part's your favorite part.
Every part is, yeah. So the first thing you're gonna notice is this big old hot water here. And what's funny is I don't use this one hardly at all. This little one back here is my main hot water heater. But you see, the reason I have 2 of them is because this little one is so powerful, it can't be run on the batteries. So if I'm in a parking lot or something, I'll have cold water. That's where this guy comes in. This one's not as powerful, so I can plug this into the batteries and have hot water anywhere at any time. So down in the attic, it goes about 9 to 10 feet back. I have my guitar in there, a bunch of Kelsey's old yearbooks, all kinds of stuff that you want to keep but you don't want laying around. And then, of course, the Wi-Fi. All right, one of the final things I'm doing with this bus, and it's kind of scary, is I'm drilling a hole in the roof to install our Wi-Fi unit. This thing right here is our Wi-Fi unit, and all these cables go to an antenna way back up here, and you can see it on the deck. This little thing enables us to have Wi-Fi anywhere. Like, we'll be riding down the road, and Colby will be behind us, and he can connect to our Wi-Fi. So no matter where we go, we always have Wi-Fi. I can upload videos wherever, whenever. It's amazing. The one problem is it costs like $175 a month, which is stupid. And I don't plan to keep paying that, but for now it's working for us really great. But this is just a great space to have to be able to store a bunch of junk that you don't want to lay around. But finally, the last room in the house, this is mine and Kelsey's bedroom. I've been waiting for this day forever. We're getting this mattress inside the main bedroom. This is a full-size bed, which works great for us. And we have a 43-inch TV right here. Awesome window. It used to be a bus window. See, the challenge with this room was making it work with this engine cover. Some of you guys were also wondering whether or not we can work on the engine because we covered all of this up. And the answer is yes. This bus was actually covered up to begin with. There's never a place to service the bus from the inside. It's only ever been serviceable from the outside. So we can change the engine, change the transmission, rebuild the engine, whatever we have to do from the outside. So none of this will ever have to be touched if the engine breaks. This spot right here is really cool. We call it a reading nook. I'm a little big, but Kelsey likes to lay up here sometimes. And it can be comfy.